Thank you very much. Okay, so we'll start today and talk about how mature an organization is, and we'll kind of build on that. So this particular maturity scale is built on a 5-level scale. Some are 6, but for CMMI and OPM3 and some of the ones you may be familiar with, they use a 5-point scale. And like most of them, level 1 is the lowest level or the least mature level. And 5 is the most mature level of the group. And so one of the misconceptions is that if an organization scores, let's say, a 4, this particular assessment, that they're always a 4. So they were a 4 at that moment, and that is typically an average score. There'll be times when there are 2 and times when there are 5. So as you go through an organization, is going to ebb and flow. Keep in mind that we go through these discussions, there may be some people within the organization that would see it as a 1 and others will see it as a 5. Hopefully it's not that dramatic, but you will likely see a significant amount of individuals that will have varying opinions about the maturity level of an organization. So we'll start with the vision of the company, because really a lot of the projects that people run within an organization should be to implement the strategy of the organization or push it towards achieving strategic goals. And in order to have goals, you have a vision and a mission. So if you start with the vision, does the company own the vision? And if you have individuals in the company who don't even know what the vision is, or there is some confusion about what is the company's mission, then you would be on the lower end of that scale. Some organizations where the vision of the company is, they can recite it to you, they have their own personal story, they can talk about how what they do every day helps achieve the vision of the company. Those are folks that are at the more mature end of the spectrum. And then we are going to look at the, we're going to look at the resources within a company. So if you most organizations, probably the one that you work for, there are times when you are short-staffed. You frequently can't do things because you are resource constrained. That is normal, and very often it is cyclical. Maybe it is every time during summer vacations and Christmas vacations, it's always a little bit tight with labor, and that's because people are taking vacations. That is normal. When we talk about resource constraints, we're talking about positions that aren't filled, positions that don't exist but should exist, folks that are severely overworked, that type of resource constraining. And then you also want to look at how those resources are supported. So for training, for example, do they have adequate training dollars for folks? What does the training program look like within the company, as well as continuous training as folks move forward? Look at if there is a pattern of behavior. So, for example, I mean, we all have companies within our respective departments within our respective organizations that it seems like there is a continuous ebb and flow of new staff. And it may be just the type of work, or maybe it's the management within the organization. I see a couple notes that either have audio. I'm trying to see if we're going to adjust that.
It's just slightly choppy periodically. It'll be smooth and then choppy for a few seconds.
Okay. I tweaked a little bit. If it's still tweaks, let me know, and I'll see if I can switch how I'm speaking to you.
Great, thank you.
So from a perspective, if you are a group that needs a new network engineer, you need a new developer, and you can get that in a reasonable amount of time, whether that is onboarding an FTE or you get a contractor who can do that work, and that happens on a regular basis, you're in that predictable mode of the organization. If you never know what's coming or going, if you're going to be able to get support, that sort of thing, then you might be on the lower end of the maturity spectrum when it comes to resources within the organization. So a lot of times that resource builds into the culture of the organization, and a lot of times also is part of the vision. So if employees don't understand what's going on, they don't have a clear understanding of where the company is going, they're not supporting their work to make that vision happen, then those individual companies are going to be down at the bottom end of maturity. A lot of times when you have companies that have gone through multiple mergers or acquisition, different kinds of shifting like that, you will have multiple cultures within an organization. Sometimes you naturally have that when you have a company that has multiple sites. There are multiple reasons why you could have separate cultures, subcultures within an organization. Not necessarily a bad thing, but it could be depending upon how it is handled by management. If everyone treats it as one vision, one group, and they all work together, a lot of times you will see this particularly at one site or one main location companies. They have a much more specific cultural space and easier to spread out. Those folks will generally be more on the scale. When you have a very large organization that has multiple sites, but they're all in that same one vision, then you are very likely towards the more mature end for the culture of that organization. And then we want to look at how decisions are made within the organization. If you never know what decision is going to be made, you have to go to one person to get those decisions made, or there's just one or two people that are allowed to make those decisions, you're going to be at the lower end of the maturity spectrum. If the people who make the decisions are at the level where decisions need to be made, there is a distributed process. You only have to escalate as needed. When things are complicated or difficult, those are more in the advanced maturity side of the process. So decisions are more predictable. You only have variance, something out of the norm and complicated. Those would be a more mature organization. And then lastly, we'll talk about performance, delivering performance within the organization. And this isn't necessarily just projects, but for many organizations, projects is how new initiatives, new products, new services are delivered. If when those things are delivered doesn't align with the company's goals and objectives, it's not consistent, you have other challenges with the delivery, then that's the lower end of the performance spectrum. If when initiatives, projects are delivered, it works well, there's a clear communication, everything's measured, it aligns to what the expectations were, then you're going to be more on that predictable end or the expected performance for that initiative. So when you think about what is needed to implement PPM, you've got to have processes defined from a project management perspective.
Hi there, hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also getting complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.